Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Plant Co podcast. I'm Max, and today I am joined by plant-based fitness and nutritional consultant, also the founder of Plant Power Dubai and very good at cleaning tables with his hands, and living kidney donor, Tom Ellis. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Max.
Good to meet you. You've been putting this off for a very long time.
Yes. Finally, we've made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it seems always the way, you want to get these things done, but busy times, isn't it?
Can't rush.
And now you're back to Dubai after a nice time in the UK as well, especially.
Yes.
So let's get into it then. Why did you go vegan? The eternal question.
I looked to plant-based diet, vegan, when they removed my kidney, and they just explained to me that with one kidney, my protein consumption has to come down. At the time, I was in the gym a lot. I was lifting lots of weights, and so I was your standard protein shake dude, and gym buff kind of guy. And I did my research, and I thought, wow, I need to get rid of these things.
Yeah.
From the inside of my body.
But let's backtrack a little bit. Why did they remove your kidney?
Oh, so yeah. That's quite a thought. So my wife's kidneys failed. And it was very kind of rushed, and her life was threatened. I was so thankful and so lucky that I was a match. We tested all of her family. The process took quite some time, and I was lucky enough to be selected.
How many different types of kidney are there?
Different types of kidney.
Because if you're a match, then how are you not a match?
I
thought anyone could donate.
Well, no. So the blood type needs to be the same. You've got all sorts of tissue typing and everything. It's very vigorous testing to make sure that my kidney is good for her, but that I can survive with one kidney.
Of course, yeah.
So loads of testing, but for me to actually be a match for her was like millions to one.
Of course, yeah, because you're not obviously related, are you?
We're not related.
That's good to know.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank God. And it was just kind of, absolutely amazing how it happened.
So when did they remove your kidney?
2017 was when my kidney was removed.
Okay.
March 31st.
Do you have a birthday for it? Do you celebrate it?
Kidney anniversary. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing day of my life.
It is. It's incredible to think that you matched your kidney with your wife, and you basically saved her life.
Yes.
I mean, what more could a husband want?
Yeah, so that's one of our biggest anniversaries. We got married 3 times subsequently, because we just wanted to carry on living our lives, and so now we've got 4 anniversaries.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, a lot of people do get married 3 times these days, but they have 3 divorces as well. So.
Yeah, well, see, I was pretty clever. Jeannie was my girlfriend at the time. And the day before we went in for the operation, I asked her to marry me, knowing that she probably had to say yes, because if she said no, then I could have been like, oh, wait.
That is smart. You kind of blackmailed her into marrying you, didn't you?
So, the day before she got admitted to hospital, we went to her mother's grave, who sadly passed away 6 months before I met her. And I wanted her mother to be there, so I got down on one knee at the cemetery, and I thought that I'm going to win this. How can she say no?
That's beautiful.
She said yes, so thank God for that. And then so that gave her something to think about, and not the suffering that she's going to go through, the pain that we're going to both be going through post-operation.
Of course, yeah, because you both had an operation, didn't you? So you're both recovering together as well.
Exactly. So it took her mind off everything, and so when she woke up from the operation, there was wedding magazines that people had bought, and the recovery process was so easy for her, because she had something to think about.
Was it easy for you?
Not to begin with.
Oh.
You have to remember they take a very sick person and they make them better, and they took a very fit and healthy person and made them sick. Yeah. So I woke up and it's like I'd been hit by a bus, and it was But then I recovered quickly. But the initial, the initial shock was like, whoa, this is pretty hard.
From the drugs, or just from the fact of your body recovering from having like an organ removed from it?
Yeah, it's major trauma. Your body's relied on that kidney for the best part, for all of your life, for 36 years.
But why do we have to then? Or is it just to have beautiful stories like yours so you can donate it to your wife and propose to her?
I believe so. There must be some kind of evolution. But the human body's kidneys, they're not both working at the same time. One will be doing the majority of the work, and then it'll take a break, and then the other one will do it. 1 in 750 people are born with one kidney, and they'll never even know it.
You just got to hope that one doesn't fail, really, don't you?
Yeah. But kidneys are very resilient. My wife's kidneys failed because she's been diabetic, type 1 diabetic, since she was 18 months old. So the irregularities of blood sugars and hypos and all that just really, because your kidneys clean your blood, and her blood was all over the place. Her levels were all over, so it just took its toll. Pancreas doesn't work, and that affects it. So it's all the endocrine system, and it was just took it out of her.
So how long after the operation did you start looking into the plant-based diet then? Or had you already planned it a little bit before?
Yeah. So in the lead up, I was a very healthy person anyway, but in the lead up, you get advised, don't smoke, never did, don't drink that much anyway, and then it's like you need to live a healthier lifestyle. So for me, I had this gift that I was given to my wife, and it had to be in prime condition, and it had to be like a Ferrari.
The Ferrari of all kidneys.
Yeah. So it was about, giving her the best chance. I'm not going to abuse my body, and because it'll have a direct impact on her,
And then if you both have only one kidney, you need to take care of it better, especially, don't you, as well?
Yeah, exactly. So she's got my left kidney, and I kept my right kidney.
Did you choose?
I didn't know. The team did. The surgical team, but my kidneys were pretty much on par with each other. I got very big kidneys, like almost 15 centimeters high by 7 centimeters, which is quite big.
I thought kidneys were supposed to be small.
Well, yeah. Well, my wife's were the size of raisins.
Yeah, they must have been all beaten up. Yeah.
But my kidneys were, when they did the ultrasounds, they were looking at them like, "What you've got?"
Is that your kidney or your lung?
Yeah, exactly. It's quite funny when I get ultrasounds now, and I don't tell them I've only got one kidney, and they're going through, and then they go out of the room, they come back, and they, I don't know how to break this to you, but we can't find your. Oh, don't worry about it.
Gave it away.
Yeah.
Gave it away for a wedding ring.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then you started transitioning towards a plant-based diet after that, or so you started before?
So as I say, just before I looked into it, I didn't go plant-based before, and then we came out of the operation, and it just made sense to me to remove what I was consuming as protein, just to get rid of that. And once I did that and I looked into it, it was just like a snowball effect. And my idea was that I would be plant-based during the week, and then I'd go to, because I enjoyed barbecues like everyone does. And so for the first weekend, I went to the barbecue and I put some meat on my plate, and it just didn't feel right. And so I tried to eat the meat, and I think I finished, it was half a chicken breast or something like that, and that was it, done. It didn't make sense for me to split it, like the 5-2 diet. Why not go all in? And then I started doing more research, and then I wanted to find companies in Dubai that were able to offer it, and there wasn't any. So it was just a snowball. Like any vegan, you'll find that you'll start little bits, and then it takes.
I found that with the meat replacement products as well. Like when they first came out, I was super excited about it. I really craved it. Like, I look forward to biting into a really juicy burger, and I do enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, but now when I eat it, it kind of reminds me of eating meat again.
Yes. And
it's not something that I really crave anymore. It kind of grosses me out more than anything else.
We're replicating the meat, which is great because, but yeah, I agree with you. It's that. It was that I didn't like when I had that barbecue, and it didn't
was it
seem
the
right
texture of it? Was it that you thinking about the health impact, or was it like more the animal ethical side of it that was playing on you?
To begin with, it wasn't the animal ethical side to begin with. It was more about my health and my nutrition. that the ethical part came later.
It often seems to be the case, doesn't it? I mean, everyone starts with their health and then they kind of find out the rest, like you say, with the whole snowball effect of it. So this was 3 years ago.
Yeah, so 3.5 years ago. So I've been vegan for 3.5 years.
Not protein deficient, obviously.
I don't know what you think.
Still going quite strong.
Yeah, I've been trying to find those wards in the hospital, and they're all empty. The protein deficiency wards in the hospitals. The beds are all empty. There's no one there.
I mean, it seems like a great place to be, doesn't it?
Yes.
Whereas you go for cancer, diabetes, and all this stuff, it's full of people.
Yeah. So I'm looking. I'm trying. I want to be protein deficient because then I've got a nice ward to myself in the hospital.
There are about 900 million people worldwide that are protein deficient, but they're all in Africa and Southeast Asia. Unfortunately, they're nutrient deficient, not protein deficient. People get that confused quite easily.
Yes, nutrient deficient. You can't be protein deficient. You can't be fat deficient. You can only be carbohydrate deficient. Yeah, the carbohydrates is the only source of food that your body needs to survive. The proteins and fats are not necessary to survive as a human being. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you look at the industries today and you look at the amount of supplements that there are and the amount of protein powders. That's not for vegans, is it? It's not for the protein deficient vegans. It's for meat eaters that are putting even more protein into their body. And it's interesting when you're talking about the kidneys, because the kidney has a huge role in the in breaking down the protein, doesn't it?
Yes. It's poison. Protein is poison. My surgeon told me protein is poison.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
And that stuck with me. It's simple. Protein is poison. I should probably get some T-shirts.
Yeah, that'd be a really good slogan, actually.
But it is, because it's when you consume these guys are on these shakes, they're going to have the farts. Yeah, that means your body needs to get rid of something. It needs to dispel something, so it farts it out.
And the smell of protein farts is the worst thing in the world.
And if you've ever had it, I used to have if you used to leave the protein thing in your car or something, it's disgusting. And we're putting that in our bodies. It's poisonous. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So what inspired you then to start Plant Power?
I wanted to share my beliefs and my ethics, really, and just this wonderful food with people, and I wanted to show how easy it was to be on a whole foods plant-based diet, which is essentially what Plant Power is, and make it more accessible, make it affordable, I was lucky enough to have friends, in the industry, and we literally set the company up like in 2 weeks, and just went from there. And it was just about me sharing what I've learned, and that you can live a healthy life on a whole foods diet, and that's what Plant Power is about. It's not a diet, because diets come to an end. Plant Power is a lifestyle. It will never come to an end. You can eat these foods consistently for your whole life, and be healthy. It's not a diet plan. If some people use it as a diet plan, they can do what they want with it.
You can lose weight on it, obviously. I mean,
we give people options of eat less, eat more. We don't like to look at numbers, which a lot of people do. But it was just about sharing my love of plant-based food and how tasty it can be. I've got things from a breakfast burrito to a chana masala curry to Asian foods to all. We've got such a variety.
I love your black bean curry.
Yeah, so we got the cocoa black bean curry. All these things. They're just so tasty and so nutritious that people need to be eating this a lot. Now, if I can influence carnivores to eat more plant-based, then I'm winning. I don't, if they're going to eat their meats and stuff like that, that's fine. But I just want to encourage people to eat better, unprocessed food that does stuff for your body, because people don't do that anymore. It's all about fast-paced this, and a quick snack, and So we've made it convenient for people by sending them their food, and there's no excuse.
So you're saying like you literally bring the food to people, and I'd never actually heard of a meal plan until I discovered Plant Power.
Oh, right.
So what's the idea behind a meal plan?
So it's for a variety of people, but it's in this country. It's for fast. It's a fast-paced country. It's insane how the rat race is insane here. So I help people. So I'll deliver their food by 6 o'clock in the morning, and then that gives them breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they want, or it gives them breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, dinner, or it gives them, got such a variety of ways. But to give them the food, but it's just about ease of eating.
Yeah.
You can the people choose their meals the week in advance for the next week. There's a full menu which kind of rotates every week. Trying to put different things here and there. You'll see the same usual suspects, but it's just about making eating plants easy for people.
I mean, like you say, it is a very fast-paced city, isn't it? I mean, you've been here over 30 years now, you said?
Yeah, I moved here in 1987.
Yeah.
So 33 years.
And I'm sure it's changed a lot in that time.
Mm.
And that convenience of having that food delivered, it's almost like going back to school again and mum gives you your lunchbox,
But that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And people want convenience, and people want things done properly.
Yeah.
And that's what we try and do.
I think that's a great idea as well, to encourage people to try a plant-based diet as well, because you're literally putting the food on their plate.
Yeah.
And not just once, but like 3 to 5 times a day with your snacks as well.
3 to 5 times a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. You can have my food delivered to your door 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
That is a lot of food, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
It's all good food.
So since you started Plant Power a couple of years ago, how have you seen the vegan scene change in Dubai?
I mean, we were one of the first plant-based meal providers here, and subsequently in the 2 years, there's so many, which is amazing. You've got vegan specific meal plan companies, and that means it's working. It means there's a demand, and we know we were increasing the demand, and it's great to see.
And what I love is just like how excited you are about having so much more competition than 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not competition. These companies are friends. They're in it for the same reason I am, I hope. And it's amazing to see, because we're such a small niche that we have to work together. We can't put each other down and try and win each other's customers and steal this. No, that's not what it's about. If I have clients that are with me for a month and then they'll go to other plants, that is perfect. Yeah, because they're continuing to eat plants. Yeah. Which is why I set the company up in the first place.
You're looking macro at it, aren't you? You're looking at it as people changing their diet and people changing the way they consume. You're not looking at it from a purely business perspective, are you?
No.
You're trying to do something good.
I'm trying to create a positive change. If I was here to make a lot of money, I would charge more money for my services, because as you know, we are
cheap as chips.
We have to make. We have to make profit, because I need to pay my bills, and I'm supporting my wife, and when we have a business to run. But our margins are so low, just to give more exposure to people. It's the competition is, as I say, they're my friends. They're my mates. I don't know them personally, but I see them on Instagram every day. I love the look of their food, and I'll go to their cafes and I'll eat their food. It's just amazing.
Do you think some businesses, though, are just trying to jump on the bandwagon, and they see like a wave of veganism and they're like, oh, I can make some money from this?
So you've got your, yes, there are obviously people come to Dubai to make money. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't, because it's my home. I don't like money. I don't have a lot of it. I don't see the need for it. But companies will come and they see it as a trend, and they think, well, it's trending now, so we can make money from it now. And they'll charge extortionate rates. That's why a lot of the time people think that vegan food is expensive, because maybe these companies are putting their prices up to make as much profit as they can in a year, and then they're going to leave.
But people confuse vegan, plant-based, and organic.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily have to eat organic to eat plant-based or vegan, do you?
No, not at all. And organic, organic foods are great, but sometimes the produce that we get, which is non-organic, is better. It just depends.
Yeah. Better in what, in taste, quality, or
taste, quality. The stuff that's grown here, locally, it might not have an organic label because you've got to pay for that label.
Yeah. It's a big thing as well now, isn't it? Greenwashing, like to label things in a certain way.
Yeah.
I was reading an article that was very interesting about how restaurants are adapting to the vegan demand. And there was this one place, they literally they changed their smashed avocado toast, renamed it vegan smashed avocado toast, and raised the price by $3. And they were selling like 3 times as much just because they'd used that branding word of vegan.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I mean, anything that is vegan that's going in the direction, I support it, but that is a little bit cheeky, though.
It's taking advantage of people and making an extra $3 and you're giving them the same product. You're essentially cheating people out of $3, 15, 18 dirhams per plate, and that's criminal. You're stealing people's money, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, because you've given them the same thing. You just changed the name. Okay, by changing the name, do you have to reprint all your menus? And did your expense come to $3 a thing? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I think people are taking advantage of the.
So do you, for example, you have the Beyond Meat burger now on
the home delivery platform, not on my meal plans.
Not on the meal plans.
No.
Right? On the home delivery, yeah. So. And a lot of the big fast food chains are moving into this as well. The Impossible Burger and Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken as well. They're bringing in the Imposter Chicken. What do you think about all of these?
I don't consume them myself, really. I do every now and again. If I'm honest, I didn't really want the Beyond Burger on my menu, but there was a demand for it. I'm not a burger chain, but it's popular. People are ordering it. They taste good. They taste great. But I'm more for a whole foods, plant-based diet, as minimal processed foods as possible, because it's for health reasons. And these false meats are great. What they're doing for our industry, but health-wise, I don't think they're that healthy.
But you don't eat a burger to be healthy, do you? Let's be honest.
Yeah, and vegan. The vegan doesn't have to be healthy, but
no.
For me, it's a strange one. It's a bit of a grey area. There was demand, and I wanted to let people have it.
I was asked by one of the local newspapers to comment on the Beyond Meat burger, and so I was trying to think about where I stand on the ethics of it. And ultimately, what I came to was that I think people who are already vegan, who've been vegan for a while, they don't crave or need these products, but it's great transitional products for non-vegans.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it puts it on the menu for people to give it a try. Why not? And you'll see it creates a conversation. But if I can have this, it's very similar, and it doesn't involve cruelty,
exactly
destroying our planet. And
we went to my family went to Zabeel House yesterday, and my brother-in-law had a vegan burger. He's not vegan, but because the option was there.
Exactly.
And it's great. And we were around the table. So he ordered the vegan burger. Okay, because I'm vegan, so everyone do we have to order vegan? It's like, no, you order what you want. Okay. I'm going to have my food, and you guys have your food. I'm not special like that. So my brother ordered a vegan burger, and that was just like, and then people were, and then 3 or 4 of my family then ordered vegan because they were like, oh yeah, and it just kind of. Like that. So those types of products are priceless sometimes.
I think it's that chain of supply and demand, isn't it? It's about offering what you can and then people consuming it, which maintains that supply as well.
Yeah.
And interesting what you touched on is that you don't make people order vegan around it. A lot of people ask me this, and I don't really know where to stand on it as well. Like, I've decided I won't pay for animal products. So if I'm at a restaurant with people, I will not pay for it if it contains someone else's dish, if it contains animal products, even though I know very well that the money's going into the same till. There's no special pot for vegan food and non-vegan food, but I won't stop people from consuming animal products at my table.
No, you can't. And by doing that, you're immediately putting yourself up on a pedestal and saying that you're better than them, and you're going to try and tell them what you can and cannot eat. it's not my, it's about showing them the goodness of eating plants. Now, if you, I'm not going to tell people what they can't eat. I'm not a protester. I'm not here to say no, 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 no. It's like I'm trying to encourage people to eat food, not discourage people not to eat food.
You're trying to show them what you can do rather than what you shouldn't do.
What you shouldn't be doing.
Inspire.
People don't like to be told what they cannot do.
Yeah, you can't tell people what to do.
No.
You can't make anyone go vegan, can you?
No. I'm just trying to encourage people to eat more good whole plant-based foods.
Because there's a thing called I think it's called the Liberation Pledge, which is basically you refuse to sit at a table with people who are consuming animal products. And as much as I like the idea, I can understand why you would do that, because if you're sitting there, you're kind of normalizing it. But I feel like if I'm at the table with non-vegans and they're eating non-vegan food and I have a vegan dish in front of me, that's when you can start that conversation. That's when you can show, like, I can eat this very delicious food and maybe you can try this next time.
Yeah.
I see that as more effective.
Way more effective. And look, we're not in a rush here either. Okay, we want to do it quickly, but we just need to let them do it themselves, because they will. And we've all seen how big the industry is getting, and people are starting to realise that it's important to eat a whole foods, plant-based diet with minimal processed foods, especially animal products. People are starting to see that they aren't the healthiest things that we should be eating, and they're not ethical. And it's veganism's coming on in a big way. But I just personally don't like to shame other people and put people down, and because I was that person. I was that person 5 years ago.
What's the most non-vegan thing that you've done?
Non-vegan thing I've done in my life?
Yeah, I've had some great stories from this. For example, one now animal rights activist told me she was running after someone with bacon, and another guy was waving sausages in front of someone's face, and then someone else covered someone's car. That's Alex, by the way, if she's listening, Alex in Wonderland. 2 episodes ago, she covered her friend's car with ham when she was a non-vegan. And now all these people are vegan. People can change and do change.
I can't say I've ever...
You're just too nice.
I can't say I've ever done something like that. Probably the worst thing I did was probably catch a fish and eat it. I think, you know what I mean? Like,
some people
spearfish a lobster.
Some people say you can get away with that because you're supplying your own demand for food.
But I never did those types of things.
You're just too nice, Tom. We were talking before about that you were a professional wakeboarder.
Yeah, for 10 years of my life. From 1998, I was 18 years old. My first contest was the X Games, and then I had a nice little wakeboarding career. Travelled the world and met some awesome people and rode some amazing places. Rode in volcanoes in China, and
wait, there was water in the volcano? Yeah,
it was an old kind of settled one. I can't remember exactly where. It was near Guangzhou in China somewhere. It's for the Asian Championships, and it was incredible. Like, you drive up this volcano and go down. It's just a lake, massive lake. It was incredible. The only thing, there was these little shrimps in there, and they kept biting, getting inside your wetsuit and stuff. But that was my own fault for falling in. But wakeboarding did a lot for me and for my life, and saw amazing things. And I've always been an athlete, and I was able to fortunately be a professional athlete in a sport. So I'm ever grateful for that.
Because I think it's this week the film Game Changers is coming out, which is about plant-based athletes. I think there's Chris Paul in it. There's Lewis Hamilton,
Novak
Djokovic, of course, who
Arnold Schwarzenegger, who we all know, Lewis Hamilton, like you just said.
I mean, you think if even Arnold Schwarzenegger is starting to promote a plant-based diet, whereas he is the culture master of fitness and being a man and all that stuff, you'd think that there's a real shift in people's mentality. So obviously you're not particularly the stereotypical vegan. You're quite fit, athletic. How do you deal with it as a man when people say to you, but you need to eat meat to be a man?
I just ignore them, and then I'll either out-train them, outrun them, outdo anything. I'll prove to them that I'm a stronger human being than them. So then that dispels a lot of myths, and that it helps people to understand that I'll do exactly what they do but faster.
I find that it's an interesting one when people say that eating meat is manly, because meat consumption is directly linked to clogged arteries. It's directly linked to reduced blood flow. It's directly linked to erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, it's the most unmanly thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean,
vegan men have on average higher testosterone levels than carnivores. What does that tell you? We're more manly.
Yeah,
because we've got more testosterone.
And even the idea of eating meat, for me, it's okay. You go for your weekend barbecue, you're eating meat, you're being all manly. But what you're doing is you're opening a packet. You're taking a piece of dyed flesh that's already been killed, processed by someone else.
Yes.
And you're just putting it onto a grill, standing there in your flip-flops. Like, what is manly
What a
about
badass that guy is, man.
I know, it's like, that doesn't make you a man, does it?
It makes you less of a man to open a packet that the animal was killed, 2 weeks ago, or you just don't know. It's not manly at all. Being a man is standing up for what you believe in, and standing up for other species on this planet. That's being a man is protecting your earth and protecting your environment and protecting your family. And eating dead animals doesn't do that for me.
No, yeah, I agree 100%, because it's something that comes back so often. Because vegans, it's 70 to 80% women.
Yes.
So that's 20 to 30% men. And why do you think we're such a minority in the vegan movement?
Because it's stereotypical, isn't it? And men don't want to be perceived as, I don't know, weaklings, I guess. And that's like where movies like Game Changers will come in and show these men that, it's just as manly, and you're going to be just as strong by not doing these things.
But have you found yourself becoming more emotional and sentimental and more, I don't know, in touch with nature, animals since you became vegan?
By all means. I when I first turned to a plant-based diet, I still had leather and stuff, but that's slowly being removed. It's all gone, but it was slowly removed from my life. So the ethics does come in, and as it is a snowball effect.
Because I've noticed, like, I get so much more emotional towards anything, like, be it a film.
Yeah.
I just find that I've become so much more connected to the world.
Yeah, you're right, and I'm not an emotional person, but I think I am becoming more emotional. I was actually on a flight over here, and I was watching something, and I was like, oh, I'm welling up a little bit, and I'm
what
on
were
a
you
plane. It was Last Breath.
Okay.
It's a document. It's like a real event that happened in the North Sea. There was a commercial diver who was stuck on the bottom of like 80 meters down, and his cord got ripped. He had 5 minutes of oxygen left, and his rescue team were 30 minutes away.
That is my worst nightmare.
So I watch, and you have to watch, So all the footage, because these divers they're being watched all the time. So you're watching this in real life, like it's all the footage that there would, and honestly, I was like, I was on the plane like this, just.
That sounds so intense. I'm terrified of deep water as well.
But so it's not, it's nothing to do with vegan, but yeah, I would have, 5 years ago, whatever, I would have sat there and watched it and like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But now I'm engrossed in this, and it's the emotion, it's the feeling, and I have become a more emotional person.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's more ethical. It might be because I don't have processed rubbish in my body. There's no bad cholesterol. Maybe that has an effect.
Maybe.
I'm not deficient in anything now. I've got more calcium. I've got more magnesium. I've got more selenium. I've got more all of the micros, and maybe that helps you boost your mood and your senses and things like that. It brings you up to a higher frequency. Processed things and alcohol and that, they bring your frequency down. We all run on frequency, and by doing this, I'm raising my frequency, and then maybe that's where you become a more emotional person, I think, and more connected with life.
The less toxins you put into your body, the more capable you are of
being who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And I found that really last month, because I did a month without alcohol because it was really necessary, and I felt really good about it, and I should definitely continue it. But anyway. But I do find like the less toxins you put into your body, so that involves obviously meat, dairy, and all these things as well, the better you feel as an individual, even in the whole mindset as well. I do find that's something that's improved a lot since going plant-based and vegan.
Yeah, because you know in your mind that you are doing the right thing, and it is a mindset.
Yeah. Do you meditate?
I try.
Yeah.
I breathe. A bit of Wim Hof. Meditating is something that I would love to be able to do. My meditation right now is running and training, and going for walks and things like that. That's how I meditate. It's not just...
I mean, meditation, there's a million different ways. People consider it's just sitting there with your legs crossed and... Yeah, exactly. There's so many different ways you can do it. I've been trying to get into it, and I'm obviously learning a lot about it at the moment. It is a great practice to do.
So I would like to... I've started doing a lot of... not a lot, but Pilates. So I want to get into like the yoga kind of...
Now you're becoming a stereotypical vegan now. You know?
Well, my wife's... she's not well. She's on the pancreas transplant list on the NHS in the UK. So it's staying healthy with her, and she enjoys it. So I want to do it with her because I want to spend as much time as I can with my wife.
Of course, yeah.
She enjoys doing something. I'll go and do it with her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it if I was on my own, but I've seen the benefits of Pilates, and so it will hopefully evolve into yoga and a bit more meditation and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once you get into these things, you start opening up so much, don't you, to everything. And you mentioned that you don't have any deficiencies. People always try and find deficiencies in vegans, and obviously we covered protein. The other two that seem to come up a lot, B12, and most recently, choline. It's this, I have no idea what it is, but there was an article like something to do with the brain, but apparently it's actually made by plants anyway. So
which is B12 is made by plants as well.
Yeah, it's people are really trying to point fingers at vegans' deficiencies at the moment.
So all I have to say about that really is, if you look at the average vegan, I don't know, they would have, say, maybe 3 deficiencies, possibly. If you look at your average carnivore, they will have anywhere between 6 and 9 deficiencies. Yeah, be it calcium, be it all the nutrients that we get from food. They have more deficiencies than a plant-based,
including B12.
Yes. So I just ignore that deficiency thing because it makes no sense. They're just trying to find an excuse to not eat well.
Yeah, I mean, as you are a fitness and nutritional consultant, let's say someone that's listening to this, they're like, okay, Tom, amazing, inspiring, I want to go plant-based. How should they do it?
Sign up to Plant Power.
Amazing pitch.
And then that's why I essentially did it because I thought, how do I do? Okay, I need to provide a service. Yeah. So here you go.
But for those that aren't in Dubai that are listening to this, because there's a lot of listeners in the US, in Saudi, in Australia. Love all of you guys, by the way.
Hello, everybody. Do your research. Yeah, there's so many things online now. Google is incredible. Just if you type how to go vegan, it's going to tell you. There's loads of documentaries you can watch. But for me, it's just about doing your own research. I'm a consultant. I will advise, but everybody is different. Yeah, everybody has a different metabolic makeup. Everyone is. You're different. I'm different. I'll do. My body will use carbs differently than yours will, and yours will use proteins differently than mine will. So it's all about getting onto a whole foods plant-based diet to begin with.
But can everyone be plant-based?
Everyone should be plant-based. Yeah, and everyone will be, hopefully.
Because people always look for excuses of, I have this, and that. Are there any diseases that you know of that obligate people to eat meat?
No. None. I don't see how that would make any sense. So, simply put, vegans eat living foods. Yeah, they're nuts and dates and stuff. They're alive. They give you things. How would eating something that's dead make me better and give me health. Yeah, eat life, don't eat death. That animal has died, so it's not healthy anymore. Yeah, if that's the worst form of health, is death.
True.
Right. So we have something that's dead. How can we get anything from that apart from taste? Yeah. To me, it just makes no sense. Eat life, not death.
Eat life, not death.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of the ethics behind veganism is not harming life, but technically when you're eating a plant-based diet, you are actually consuming life, as opposed to consuming death.
And that's what it's about. It's about living.
That's crazy. I never actually thought of that. Anyway, but how old are you?
39.
39, okay. And you don't look... I mean, I don't like saying people don't look their age because I've been called out on this before because it's like, how do you look 39?
Yeah.
But anyway, like, most people pushing towards 40s, whatever, even though 40 is the new 30 these days.
Yes.
They look terrible.
I see people on the street or I get introduced to people and I'm like, they've got to be like over 40. And then they're like, oh, I'm 29. You're 10 years younger than me? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people's ages, and they're aging very fast. I feel like I'm reversing that process. I feel like I'm getting younger every year. I'm fitter than I ever was, and I used to be a professional athlete.
True.
I'm fitter now than I was then. And I'm retired. I'm a retired athlete.
Maybe you should get back into wakeboarding again. Go pro.
I know, it's too scary.
Yeah.
It is these days, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so how can you... What would you say to people? Because there's a lot of people out there that are going to be now just over 30 and having like that midlife crisis before time, who are slightly overweight, because you have a super positive mindset.
Yes.
Where do you suggest people start towards making that change and improving their day-to-day life?
You need to wake up and not find excuses to not do anything. You need to think positively about everything. We have one life, and it's not even 100 years. Yeah, that's crazy. We're just one. We've only got one. Not even 100 years. See, this. So you need to wake up every day and do something that will positively affect yourself and others around you. Because if you're not positively affecting people around you, I don't see really why you should be socializing with people. You know what I mean? You need to be proactive, and you need to be positive, and negativity brings negativity. Positivity brings positivity. I hope.
Yeah.
I was faced with my wife was her life was threatened, and I saw the importance of life and the importance of me being positive as a supporting role for not just my wife but for my family. When we went through the ordeal, it was scary. Imagine how scary it was for my mother and my family, because
in both families they could have lost both of you.
Yeah, could have lost both. We both went into it. I had to sign so many papers saying that I know that I could not come out of this alive.
Yeah.
So it's about being, so through all that, I was, my wife was kind of at my rock as well, because she's very positive as well. I mean, she's lived this 30 years, and she's still grinding, getting through it. So I think it's easier to be a positive person than it is to be a negative person.
Yeah.
And it will just come naturally. You just have to look at life in a positive way.
And I think we all just need to wake up and realize that we're going to die. One day you're going to die. It's actually going to happen. We're so focused on the problems that we have like right in front of us and on this like small menial stuff that we forget that one day we're going to be dead.
Yeah, with nothing.
And no one's going to care about these problems or about our lives that we had. I mean, we might as well just enjoy it whilst we're here, mightn't we?
Yeah, it's incredible, yeah. It's, one life. Live it to the best that you can, because it could all be over tomorrow. We just have no idea.
We have no idea. But in the meantime, don't be cruel to animals, protect our environment and protect your health.
Which is all about positivity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Killing something is a negative thing. So that will just spiral out of control for a lot of people. Eating... Most of the population eat something dead every day. And that's just negative, in my opinion. It's negative.
bad karma.
Yeah, and I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day, and they asked what religion I was, and I said my religion is karma, and that's what, honestly, and I think people should embrace karma as a religion. What goes around comes around. What I do for you, so yeah, karma.
Yeah, without going into the religious aspect of it, it's so true that if you're nice to people, if you're just genuinely nice and you give, you get so much more back in return than if you're like stingy and trying to see what angle can I get out of this person. When you give, I find you get so much more back.
And it's something very simple, like giving a smile to someone. Yeah, I smile to see people when I walk past them. I open the doors for people, and it's unheard of these days.
True.
When I go for a run, I'll wait. Hi, morning. Here that doesn't happen. In England, it does more often. But I try and speak to people. The petrol pump attendants, the guys serving my packing bag. I try and speak to everyone and smile and just leave a positive impact, even if it's a 30-second conversation. My positive 30-second conversation will have a positive impact on that guy's day, maybe even that week,
maybe even their life.
You know what I mean? Just that one smile. Someone could be having the shittest day, and just me smiling at them could change that. And it does. Smiles are infectious, and that's what it's about. It's just treat everyone with love and respect, and treat everyone with positivity, and it will come back to you. It will.
I couldn't agree more. On that beautiful note, Tom, as much as I could talk all day to you about karma and the positivity, such a good vibe chatting with you today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Max. Been a pleasure.
Been a real pleasure. I look forward to having you back soon, and we'll talk more about everything. I don't know, we'll find something to talk about.
Oh, we've got plenty to talk about,
plenty
mate.
to talk about. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. Tom from Plant Power. Do check out Plant Power Dubai if you're on Dubai.
Plant Power.
Big guns. I won't do that. It'll just be embarrassing. Take care and see you next week, guys. Bye.
That's the year that they're saying's our last, unless we make a change now when we gotta be fast. But first we gotta make a shift in what we put in our mouths. These silly billies thinking vegans eating grass on the ground. We talking fast food, yo, it's burgers and fries. And it used to hurt the earth and the birds in the sky, but now they making it with plants, and it's so much better, cause the animals are safe. No more changes in the weather. We better act fast, cause the ice barely freezing. The world's changing quick, so welcome to Planet Vegan. Woo! Damn, man, can you feel that? This place is getting hot. If we want to save the world, it'll take some work. If you want to make it better, then take off your shirt, wave it around your head, and jump into the streets. The revolution starts now. Can you feel its heartbeat? If we want to save the world, man, we better be quick, cause we're killing all the piggies and the cows and the chicks. And I gotta be honest, I ain't a fan of our fate, but we can make a change now, and it starts on our plates. All around the world, it's a brand new dance. What you're making out of bodies, yeah, we're making out of plants. We gotta save the pigs and the fishes in the sea, so hold on to your pants, Planet Vegan soon to be. There's a change up in the system, I can feel it in the air, but it benefits us all, there's no need to be scared. We're gonna change the world and we'll do it in a day, so don't fight the future, Planet Vegan's here to stay. If we wanna save the world, it'll take some work. If you wanna make it better, then take off your shirt, wave it around your head, and jump into the streets. The revolution starts now. Can you feel its heartbeat? If we wanna save the world, man, we better be quick, cause we're killing all the piggies and the cows and the chicks. And I gotta be honest, I ain't a fan of our fate, but we can make a change now, and it starts on our plates.
Massive forest fires have once again decimated the Californian coastline.
Iceland just held a funeral for the first glacier ever lost in the country's history due to warming weather patterns.
Europe was just hit with the hottest temperatures in recorded history.
Thousands of people are already dying every year from climate change-related issues, and this number is expected to rise exponentially over the coming decade.
Okay, this apocalyptic nightmare is about to be real. Forest fires, oceans flooding, let it fill you with fear. A billion refugees running across the borders in pain, and they're drowning while you're saying you're refusing to change. Slaughterhouses filled with bodies and they're letting out screams, but you're saying it's a lie, that it's only a dream. Let me tell you something, man, the nightmare is real, and you're paying for it daily with your supersized meal.